everyone, I am CA Vibhuti Narang. Welcome to our channel Voxcov Academy. In today's video, I'll be discussing about two TDS sections in which deduction of higher TDS is done due to defaults by the deductee. These two sections are section 206AA for TDS, along with that 206CC for TCS, and the second series is 206AB for TDS and 206CCA for TCS. So this video is being divided into two sections. The first one is 206AA along with that 206CC, which is non-furnishing of PAN by the deductee as well as collectee. So if there is any default by the deductee or the collectee to provide his or her PAN to the deductor, then the government has said that there will be a TDS deduction at a higher rate, and the rates which are specified under this section are the rates which are specified in the particular TDS sections, or 20% in case of TDS and 5% in case of TCS, whichever is higher will be applicable for not providing the TAN by the deductee to the deductor. There are further some issues being observed. The first issue is that this section will not be applicable for TDS deduction under section 194LC, that is TDS on long-term bonds including infrastructure bonds. The second issue observed in case of this section is higher TDS in case of non-furnishing of PAN by deductee under section 194A. So in 194A, 20% will not be the TDS rate being levied. Maximum marginal rate, that is 30% plus 37% surcharge plus 4% surcharge, will be 42.744%. 4% health and education cess, which will be equal to 42.744%, will be the higher TDS rate which will be levied under this section. The third issue is that what will be the TDS rate in case of section 194O and 194Q. So the cap for these two sections is 5% instead of 20%. These section being TDS on goods, that is why the cap has been restricted to 5% and not at a higher rate of 20%. So this was all about the section 206AA. Now we have new section being introduced from budget 2021, and these were applicable from 1st of July 2021. The first is 206AB, which is non-filing of income tax return by the deductee, along with that 206CCA, which is non-filing of income tax return by the collectee. So what happens in this case is the deductor which is liable to deduct TDS for the deductee, he will be deducting TDS at a higher rate, or he will be collecting TCS at a higher rate in case of a specified person. We will be discussing who the specified person is, but if the deductee is being classified as specified person, then the TDS rate will be twice the normal tax rate specified in the section, or 25%, whichever is higher. Now, what is a specified person? Specified person is a person who has not filed his income tax return for the assessment year relevant to the previous year immediately preceding financial year in which TDS is to be deducted. For this bare act, I will be discussing in next slide. And for understanding the specified person, we need to understand his income tax return filing requirement, and the TDS which needs to be deducted in that financial year must be exceeding rupees 50,000. Now, if I talk about today's date, right now it is financial year 23 and 24 which is going on. Government says that deductee needs to file income tax return for the previous year. Now the previous financial year was 22-23. The income tax due date has not yet arrived yet for the financial year 23-24. The income tax return date for financial year 22-23 will be in July, September and October for different types of assessees. So we cannot predict till that date whether the person is classified as specified or not. So in that case, we need to check his income tax return filing, whether he has filed income tax return for financial year 21-22 in the financial year 22-23 as per section 139(1) of the Act. Now we need to understand this section is not applicable in certain sections of TDS, which are section 192, 192A, 194B, 194BB, 194IA, IB, 194LBC, 194M and N. So these sections are being excluded. So higher TDS rate for non-filing of income tax return by the deductees will not be applicable on these section. The second issue which arises whether if both the sections, where that is 206AA as well as 206AB are applicable, then what is the TDS rate to be implemented. Now I have classified these sections out. The 4 cases I have taken. The first situation says that there is a section 194C which is applicable. Under section 206AA, the assessee has not furnished the PAN. He has furnished the PAN in the first case. In 206AB, he has not filed the return. The rate now will be 1%, double of 1%, which is 2% or 5% as per 206AB. So it will be 5%. The second situation I have taken for the same section 194C, but now the TDS rate is 2%. In that case 206AB, that is the PAN he has furnished, but he has not filed the income tax return. So as per 206AB, it is double the normal tax rate, that is 4% or 5%, whichever is higher. Again it is 5%. If I talk about 206AA, that is my third case, the PAN is not furnished as well as he has not filed the income tax return. Now in this case, the higher of the two rates in both the sections will be applicable. In 206AA, the higher rate will be rate specified in the section 2% or 20%, whichever is higher, that is 20%. And in 206AB, it is 4% or 5%, whichever is higher, which is 5%. If I combine these two sections, the higher rate is 20%. Under section 194H, the applicable rate is 5%. If the PAN is not furnished, then again my higher side rate will be 20%, and 206AB return is not filed, my higher rate will be 10%, double of 5%. So 10% or 20%, whichever is higher, is 20%. So in 99% of the cases, if both the sections are overlapping, 20% will be the rate which will be applicable. Now coming on to the next thing. As we know that specified person need to be checked. Now being a deductor, there are n number of vendors or n number of deductees which cannot be asked on one-to-one basis, or whose income tax return cannot be called by the deductor to check whether the compliance has been done or not. So to make this work at ease, what the government has done, it has come out with a compliance check functionality, and this compliance check functionality is used to identify the specified persons under these sections. What I have done is to understand easily how to do the registration process or how to log into this compliance portal and how we need to check the compliance. I have classified, or I have categorized 3 phases. The first phase will be of registration, the second phase will be how to log into the portal, and the third phase will be how to check the compliance for the specified person. So moving on to the first phase, how to register on this reporting portal. There are 2 types of registration process. One is PAN based and one is TAN based. TAN based registration process I will be covering more in detail in this video, and PAN based I have not covered in this section, but although both the ways registration at the portal can be done. The first step is the portal website is reports.insight.gov.in. So this is the link you have to go to get into this website, and you have to click on the left panel register portion. You will be redirected to the login page. Now this login page is of the incometax.gov.in. So either you can go through this website for registration, or you can directly go to the incometax.gov.in. You will be landed at a login page. You need to log in using your TAN credentials. So once you are logged in, you will be going to the pending action tabs. Under pending actions, you need to go to the reporting portal and click on proceed. After proceeding, there is a new registration option, and after clicking to the new registration option, you have to continue. After continuing, the form type will be compliance check, tax deductor and collector. and the category will be categorized based on the TAN registration on the e-filing portal, whether you're a company, individual, firm, trust, AOP. Depending upon your TAN registration, your category will be decided. Then again you have to proceed to that screen. You need to enter your entity details, your PAN, your address, state, country, everything which are mandatory fields need to be entered, and then you need to add your principal officer. Now, who is a principal officer? He is the designated person for the entity, for the deductor, who will be using this reporting portal for login purpose as well as for checking the functionalities for the specified person. So all the details regarding the principal officer, his PAN, his name, designation, date of birth, mobile number, email ID, all the mandatory fields need to be submitted. There is an option to add nodal officer also, but this is not a mandatory option. You can either preview the screen or you can finally submit. So once submit, there is a successful message being displayed. After this successful message, your registration process is complete and your ITD-REIN will be generated. Now ITD-REIN is your income tax department reporting entity identification, same like your PAN and TAN. There is again a number, it's a 16 character identification number which is being allotted by the income tax department to the entity once the reporting or registration process is complete. After this number is generated, there is an email notification received by the principal officer along with the ITD-RN and your first time login credentials. So the first time login credentials will make us move to our second phase, which is logging to reporting portal. Now using those first time login, the principal officer can just log in after entering the PAN and password. You can change the password, and once the password is changed, your user ID is your PAN number and password is the newly created password which you can use for login to this reporting portal for the future purposes. Once logged in, you need to select the form type, which is again compliance check, tax deductor and collector. You need to select your ITD-REIN, and then in the next screen after proceed, you need to select your principal officer. You have to select the principal officer under the authorized person type and then proceed. After proceeding, on the left hand panel you need to go to compliance check for section 206AB and 206CCA. After clicking on this tab, we move on to our phase 3, which is the compliance check, which needs to be actually done. So there are two types of compliance check. One can be a single PAN search, that I enter a single PAN of my deductee and check whether the PAN verification is there or not. The second option is a bulk search. So I enter the multiple bulk PAN which I have and go for the verification process further. First, we'll be understanding the single PAN verification. For the single PAN verification, on the left hand side, you need to go to the PAN search, enter your valid PAN and the CAPTCHA code, and then click on search. After clicking on search, there is an output screen generated which will tell the name on the PAN of that person or the deductee. The name is masked, so it is not complete name which is being reflected. The actual allotment date of that PAN, whether the PAN is linked to Aadhaar or not, and whether that person is a specified person or not. So answer to the last option is no, means that person is not specified person and higher TDS deductions not to be done. If the answer is yes, then higher TDS deductions is possible and he has not filed his income tax return. This report for audit trail or future purpose can also be downloaded in the PDF format. Now we move on to the bulk search option. Again, on the left panel, when we click to the compliance check tab, we can go to the bulk search. Under the bulk search tab, you need to click on download CSV template. Now, because this is a bulk search, so all cannot be uploaded on the screen itself. So need to download the Excel CSV template. This template has a capacity to hold or to check results for 10,000 PAN per file. So once you enter all the PAN details of the deductees you want to check the compliance, you need to input it on the upload CSV and you need to choose your file and submit to the option. After submitting, there are 4 options which you will be seeing. On my screen, I have shown 2, uploaded and link expired. Now what these 4 options are. Immediately when you upload that CSV file, it shows that the CSV is being uploaded, which is pending for processing purpose. Once uploaded and the processing done by the website or the income tax department, the file will be available for downloading purpose. So once the status changed from uploaded to available, you can download through that link. Once downloaded, that file still is available for 24 hours, and after 24 hours the option will convert into link expired. So you can say within 1 day it will be uploaded, after processing it will be available, after downloading it will be available for 24 hours, and after 24 hours it will be showing as link expired. After the link is expired and you have downloaded, this is a sample file which I have shown you. So the specified person no means he is not specified, higher deduction not to be done. Specified person yes means the link means the person is specified and you have to go for the higher deduction, and dash means the PAN is invalid. So this is how the compliance check needs to be done. For more future updates, you can visit my website www.voxcov.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for future updates. Thank you very much.